Dana Abercrombie, the Koalition. Thank you so much for creating this. This was incredible. And so my question for both of you, even though we know that this is its own story, I wanted to know what aspects from the franchise that was essential for you to explore for this series, especially for the fans who played the video games for so long.
I think it's the core values, really. I mean, there's so much story. There's 20 years of canon, right? So I think we started with why do people love this so much? Why does it extend beyond the games? Why is it a culture? And that's the core values of the game. And so it was starting with that, and then also having the opportunity to tell a story about John, that they haven't seen before, and also for the other characters and worlds in a way that they just haven't had that chance in the games to experience.
Yeah.
And on a big screen, on a big scale, visually, cinematically.
Yeah, I mean, I think the things that were critical was tell a character story, like a character-driven, dramatic story, and bring this enormous Halo universe to life. Like that was sort of the imperative, and with that, the sort of themes of hope and heroism and humanity wonder with Halo. But it had to be like, I remember how exciting it is, like when I first saw Harry Potter come to life, right? That was magical for me. So making the Halo universe like writ large and feel tangible in a place that you could be in, and have it also feel familiar for fans, and tell this amazing character story based in things that are foundationally canon and foundational Halo. It had to feel like a Halo story, right? And it had to feel like you were stepping into the Halo universe. And then hopefully you sit back and you can enjoy this story and this journey, which is really different than we've been able to express in the games because of the medium. And being able to deliver on the value of that. So it felt different from just taking the game and putting it in live action. It was, how do we make it feel like a very character-driven, dramatic experience, but still always Halo.
Right. So I was wondering, for both of you, this is a huge task that you're taking with this show. What was the greatest lesson when it came to adapting this into a series?
I think you got to be nimble. You got to be flexible, and you got to make sure everyone has the same idea. It really applies to making any television show, but when it's so difficult and challenging just in terms of this physical production and the visual effects. And so it's learning what you do well, learning where you need to work, what your weaknesses are or stretches are, and leaning into your strengths, and also recognizing that it could change and rolling with it in a way. This was several years of production because of COVID as well. And so during the COVID shutdown, we used that time to actually take a breath and figure out what we were doing well and what we needed to work on, and gave you time to polish the scripts, gave us time to work on the cuts and learn the show. So I would say it's a process where you're going to be surprised every day. But if you stay nimble, the surprises become positive ones that you can build on. And I think it shows in the work that has a sort of life to it that came from not being rigid in our thinking.
And it had to be story first, right? Like if we were going to take this adaptation and with these goals of this character story, that had to be the thing that drove the decisions around how and where we diverged from canon and what was going to be different, right? Because that there had to be a meaning behind a change. It was never change for change's sake. There had to be value in it, and it had to move the story forward. Because if we were going to get permission for making these changes, it has to pay off. Right. And so it might not be, it might be a change that happens in episode 1 that you may not see the fruits of until episode 6. But, really the audience understanding that these changes were made for very deliberate reasons and hopefully always for the better.
Wonderful. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.